Welcome to another edition of In My Humble, a show where two gentlemen discuss all things sport and what is just our humble opinion. I'm your host, Damian Banks. This is the holiday edition. I'm going to give you my predictions on the NFC and the AFC representatives for the Super Bowl. Also, we're going to cover the three Triangle ACC basketball teams, UNC, Duke, and NC State. Also, we're going to throw in the North Carolina Central men's basketball team. And lastly, we have a special guest in studio, head coach Antonio King of the Hillside Hornets football team. Welcome back to the show. We begin with the NFL. Now, the playoffs are fastly approaching. Teams are jockeying for position. I'm going to give you my predictions for the NFC and the AFC representatives for the Super Bowl. In the NFC, I'm going to start with the Seattle Seahawks, last year's Super Bowl champions. They're led by quarterback Russell Wilson, former NC State star. They have Marshawn Lynch at running back, very strong running game. Pete Carroll really knows how to motivate those players, and I look for them to be in the NFC Championship game. Their opponent should be the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is having an MVP-type season from the quarterback position. He has a plethora of weapons at wide receiver, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, so on and so forth. Green Bay is playing really well. Their offense is clicking on all cylinders. Now, they do have to tighten up their defense. Clay Matthews, great defensive player, should solidify that defense. I look for Seattle and Green Bay to play in the NFC Championship games. Now, we're going to head over to the AFC. It's familiar faces in the AFC, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. The Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning, they're plugging along, having a pretty good season. Peyton Manning is not having the MVP-type season that he had last year, but they're still good nonetheless. He has weapons at the wide receiver position. Julius Thomas at the tight end position, Demaryius Thomas at the wide receiver, throwing Wes Welker. They're leaning more on the running game this season in Denver because Peyton is getting a little bit up there in age, so they don't want to subject him to getting hurt. Look for them to make the AFC Championship game. Their opponent, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. What more can you say about Tom Brady? He's a future Hall of Famer, always in control on the field. Head coach Bill Belichick has his team ready to play every Sunday. Their running game is really focusing in, and they're getting really good production out of no-name running backs. So I look for the New England Patriots to play the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game. Come back at a later show and I'll give you my Super Bowl predictions. We're going to take a commercial break. Got to pay some bills. Rome, run those commercials, sir.
Greetings. I'm attorney Julian Michael Hall, and I'm from Durham, North Carolina. So I understand that sometimes bad things happen to good people, and there's always two sides to every story. If you find yourself in legal trouble, please come by my office. I'm at 311 East Main Street, right in downtown Durham, North Carolina. You can give my office a call at 919-530-1130. You can even call my cell phone if you absolutely have to at 919-593-0938. Again, I'm Julian Michael Hall from the law office of Julian Michael Hall.
Welcome back to the show. Now we're going to switch gears and go to the ACC. Three basketball teams around these parts, they're known as Tobacco Road. UNC, Duke, and NC State. We're going to start in Chapel Hill with Roy's boys. The UNC Tar Heels, they're poised to have a pretty good 2014-2015 season. Now they've started out kind of slow, Right now, they're not playing their best basketball, but they're getting wins. They did lose a tough game on the road to top-ranked Kentucky, but Royal get those guys in shape. They'll have a great season. They're led by Marcus Page. Now, Marcus came into the season as a preseason All-American. He's not having the best start to the season, but we all know he's going to pick his game up, and he's going to lead UNC to a pretty good season. Now, the key, in my humble, to a good season for UNC is going to be their front court. Kennedy Meeks out of Charlotte, North Carolina, he's lost a lot of weight, looking really good in the front court for UNC. He's a double-double machine. We look for him to have a big season and lead UNC to a great 2014-2015 season. We're going to stay in Durham and go with Coach K and the Duke Blue Devils. Duke had an outstanding recruiting class. They have 3 outstanding freshmen, Jaleel Okafor, Tyus Jones, and Justice Winslow. All 3 of those guys are key contributors for the Blue Devils. Throw in senior Quinn Cook, and it looks like the Blue Devils are poised to have a great season. As you all know, I'm an NC State fan, but I have to give credit where credit is due. Duke is looking really good at the beginning of the season. We're going to keep an eye on them as they head towards the ACC portion of their schedule. Switching gears again, we're going to go to Raleigh for the NC State Wolfpack. Coach Mark Gottfried and the Wolfpack, they've started off the season pretty good. Lost a pretty close game at home to Wofford College. That was really disappointing to me. But NC State has picked their play up, led by Alabama transfer Trevor Lacey. Throw in Cat Barber at the point guard position, and NC State is also poised to have a pretty good season. Now, they were picked to finish towards the middle of the pack in the ACC, but according to their play so far, they're going to finish way higher than that, in my humble. So we're going to look for those 3 schools to have great seasons, and possibly, if they can make a Final Four, that'll be good for the ACC. But I guarantee you, I'm stamping it right now, Duke or UNC will be in the Final Four this season. Lastly, for the college basketball locally, got to give props to head coach Lavelle Moulton and the North Carolina Central Eagles. They play the big boys. Pretty tough non-conference schedule. They've already played West Virginia. They've already played Memphis. Coach Moulton has those guys poised to have another great season. They won the MEAC championship last season and played a pretty good Iowa State team in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Now, the Eagles are led by seniors Jordan Parks and Anthony McDonald. Those guys are preseason MEAC all MEAC performers, and we look for them to have great senior seasons. That's been our college basketball wrap. We're going to take this commercial break. I'm going to stretch, maybe get me a glass of water because my mouth is getting a little dry. I'm a bit verklempt. We'll be back after this commercial break.
One voice, one vision,
one movement,
one network.
We are one.
Nakia's Closet, affordable, chic, and edgy accessories. Shop online at nakiascloset.com.
We have a special guest in studio today, Durham born, Durham raised. Head coach of the Hillside Hornets football team, head coach Antonio King. Coach King, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Coach King, I'm happy to have you on the show today. We tried this earlier in the season, had some technical difficulties, so thank you for coming back and giving us another shot here on In My Humble. Now, again, I said you're Durham born, Durham raised. Let the people know a little bit about your backstory and how you got to this point in your career.
Basically, I graduated from Hillside High School here in Durham, went on off, played football at Howard University, came back, started working in the education field, Neal Middle School coaching, Hillside High School. So it's been an honor to be back.
Now, Coach King, again, you're at Hillside High School now. Took over that head coaching position in 2009 for Ray Harrison. Now, in 2010, 1 year after beginning as the head coach, you win the first state championship in school history in football. 40-0 shutout victory over Davie County. Special season, 16-0 that season. Explain the feeling that you get, bringing that championship back to your alma mater and the work and the effort that it took to get to that point.
Well, we put a lot of hard work in even before I took over. So me and Coach Harrison was right there neck and neck, working in the field, getting it together. Just able to take advantage of an opportunity that we had with a special talented group of people at that present time. So it was just a feeling that you needed. We hadn't won a title at Hillside since '43. and that was a long time ago. So we just was able to have a good time, play some good football, and we came out on top.
Now, you experienced success early in your head coaching career, and you've continued that success. 5 straight Pac-6 championships. You haven't lost a conference game in 5 seasons. So you're really putting in work on the field. Now, let's get to off the field with these kids, because we are, in a state of time where, kids can fall by the wayside far-wise as education and the things that they need to do in the classroom. They need to perform in the classroom before they can perform on the field. Now, you have, large weight on your shoulders trying to keep everyone in line and keep them, going down the right path. Explain and give the people a little input on how you shape and mold these young men to do great things.
Well, first we start when they come in as standards. There's certain things you're going to do regardless of who you are. You're going to go to class. You're going to get your education, because even with football, once it's over, you need something. So we have standards that you're going to live by. We know how important it is to take the SAT, ACT, so we get all that stuff done, and we just keep a constant reminder that we stress something at the high school. You're going to do something. We have to make you better than the next generation. So that's just a standard that we live by.
And that's something that you truly need to be commended for, because, a lot of coaches, in my experience playing athletics, they don't really care about the kid once they leave their presence. They care about them at practice and at the games, but they're not checking on them, making sure they're going to class, making sure they're doing their homework, making sure that everything is okay at home with the parents and things of that nature. So, it's good that a coach like you can actually be involved in their life on a personal level. So I commend you for that. Now, getting back to the football side of things, like I said before, 5 straight seasons as Pac-6 champions, and that's impressive in itself. Now, this season, the 2014 season, it started off, on a kind of rough note for you guys. You got a brutal schedule to start the season with. Played perennial powers like, Southern Durham and Dudley and New Bern, but you pulled things together, came together as a team, and ended up having a pretty impressive and pretty special season. Explain to the people this season and what it took, from the slow start to progressively work and get better, and to ultimately go to the state playoffs and have an impressive showing.
Well, it started off a little rough. We had to come together as a team, had to get total buy-in. I mean, we lost 5 games this year by a total of 25 points. So that was all tough. But the kids finally bought in and started playing their role, their assignment, doing what they were supposed to do. And we put together a 7-game win streak, and we lost to the now state champs New Bern at their home field by 6 points. So, I mean, we did what we were supposed to do, fell short of the goal we wanted, but all in all, it was a good year.
Now, the 2014 season can be said that it was bookended by New Bern. You played New Bern to start the season, lost at home 12-0 to them. Very close game. You had a lot of turnovers. That game could have went either way if you didn't turn the ball over so much. State playoffs, 3rd round, you lose at New Bern in the close contest, 13-6. Am I correct? 13-7. You lose at New Bern, and they go on to win the state championship. So going into the 2015 season, looks like you have a lot of kids coming back. You have good things to look forward to. What can you guys do to take that next step to bring another state championship to Hillside High School?
Well, first it's going to start it's one weight room. It's going to start in the weight room, start with our mindset, start with just getting back to the base things that we need to get accomplished. After that, it's got to make plays. I think if we'd have made 7 plays, 8 plays this year, we'd be sitting here 16-0 talking about another state title. So you got to make plays, and you can't keep wishing and woulda, coulda, shoulda. So we just got to go out and make it happen next year.
Yes. Next year, big things are in store for Coach King and the Hillside Hornets. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Antonio King. Again, Durham born, Durham raised, the head coach at Hillside High School. Coach King, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you,
Hopefully,
sir.
Next season, we can get things right to jump start the season. We'll be at Hillside High School.
That's we can do that.
Stay right there. If you got to go, get you something to drink, maybe get yourself something to eat. Check these commercials out, and we'll be back after this break.
A gentleman's creation gallery and apparel at 113 South Garnett Street in Henderson, NC. Your one-stop shop for everything flower. All major brands and everything is authentic. Men's, women's, kids, they got it all. Looking for something that nobody else has? A gentleman's creation will customize your jackets, shirts, and much more. Everything they create is customized and tailored just for you. show you. Even if you want to bring them old shoes back to life, they'll restore any shoe. A Gentleman's Creation, 113 South Garnett Street in Henderson, NC. Check them out on IG at A Gentleman's Creation or online at agentleman'screation.com.
Welcome back to the show. This has been another great episode of In My Humble. As always, leave your comments in the section below. We'd like to thank Coach Antonio King for joining us in studio today. I'm going to leave you with this quote. Hate is a 4-letter word. Love is a 4-letter word. Let's choose love. Until next time, we'll see you on In My Humble.